Because the transition chief is a pretty public person, to a certain degree, the face of the transition, and you didn't want Chris Christie, after all the troubles he'd had with Bridgegate and all the testimony in the trial in which two of his top aides were convicted of conspiracy and fraud, that he knew about it as well. As soon as that came down, you knew that he wasn't going to want Chris Christie around taking questions from reporters about the Trump administration.
Chris, you've got your finger on the pulse in Washington as well as anybody. The speculation was always, how will the swamp, how will Washington react to a Donald Trump presidency? Here we are with it settling a little bit 4 or 5 days later. What are you hearing about how folks are responding? Do they want to be a part of the administration? Are they holding back? How's the outreach?
Well, I will say that the congressional leaders that we've talked to, Paul Ryan, the House Speaker, was on a special report this week, and I spent a little bit of time with him off camera. He was as excited as a kid in a candy store, because you've got to remember, whatever you think, and Lord knows there were plenty of tensions between Trump and Ryan during the campaign, right. You've got to know that Trump is, or rather Ryan is very excited at the idea that all of this agenda that he had bottled up, that he couldn't get past Barack Obama, now if he can get it to Donald Trump's desk, he'll get it signed and put into law.
Yeah, that's a great point.
They are very excited.
Great point. You've got a big show coming up, Fox News Sundays. You mentioned Kellyanne Conway, who I just saw here in the makeup room. You have some questions to ask her, I'm sure.
Then you've also got Kellyanne Conway, senior advisor to the transition, and we'll also be talking to Kevin McCarthy, who is the House Majority Leader.
Interesting.
Fox News Sunday must watch. Chris Wallace, check your local listings for Fox News Sunday. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks,
as always.
Bye, guys.
All right. All right. Overnight, the anti-Trump temper tantrums, that's what they are. They're temper tantrums. They grow on the streets. Well, can these liberals really call this, is that freedom of speech? That doesn't look like to me. We break down this destructive behavior in a fair and balanced debate. It's coming up next, and you're not going to want to miss it.
Speech?
Absolutely not. It's not protected under the First Amendment. People, you have the right to peacefully protest and, say what you don't like about what's going on in your government. But when it turns to violence against your fellow American, when it turns to violence on the properties of your fellow Americans, that is not protected. That requires the intervention of our law enforcement. And in my opinion, because so many of them are young, the intervention of their parents. Also, too, Hillary Clinton, when she conceded, did not address her supporters, and I think that was not good judgment on her part, because she and the president were screaming about smooth transition. Would Donald Trump accept a smooth transition, or would he concede? And look at what's happening when she did not come in and talk to her people.
But let me say this. I think that Donald Trump should give a speech to the whole of America. Obviously, he ran a very divisive campaign. I think he should say to everyone, I will be everybody's president, and clarify, does he plan on building the wall? I'm hearing that now maybe he might not. So I think
he has called on social media.
He has already clarified.
Give me a break.
And he even during his speech, we have an interview tonight on 60 Minutes where he addressed that.
He said it was very unfair on social media. He got on social media and said all these protesters are very unfair. He's a president.
Where is President Obama on this? He's still the president of the United States.
Exactly. He is the reigning president. It is his job to talk to Americans.
No,
he was quiet in Ferguson, quiet in Philly, quiet when a lot of these things broke out that were un-American as far as I'm concerned.
And what I would say is this. Hold on a second. Brian,
go ahead.
There were a lot of people who didn't vote. We saw numbers significantly down in Philadelphia where we're seeing these riots.
That's
Portland, Michigan, Detroit.
That's true.
These people that are out there organized, suddenly, spontaneously.
Being paid.
Did they vote? Why didn't they vote? Couldn't they have done this before Election Day?
I believe a lot of them did vote. The bottom line was there wasn't enough votes. I mean, look, Donald Trump won the election fair and square. I don't think anyone's arguing that.
Thank you.
But
God bless your lips.
People are making the case that the way he won was inappropriate, and there's consequences to his words. And that's why people are protesting.
What I would say is this. Donald Trump got the white vote He got black votes.
I don't
He
know
got
about that,
Hispanic
Janelle.
votes. He got Chinese votes.
Oh,
He
my
got
God, here we
Arab
go.
votes. He got all kinds of votes. People of
true.
all races
By
and
the way, Hillary
nationalities,
won-
creeds.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm sorry,
Hillary won the
excuse me,
popular
sir.
vote, Brunel. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
Excuse me,
apologize.
sir.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Don't forget
But
don't
yes,
forget who won the
Donald
popular
Trump,
vote. Go ahead.
he appealed to all Americans. So this nonsense about racist, and I'm not a racist, I'm not a xenophobe,
All right, so
I'm
guys,
not a
how do we turn the
misogynist.
page? We've got 30
Yeah.
seconds left. Can we solve
How we
America's
turn the
ills here?
page
How do we
is
turn the page and heal this?
President-elect comes out and says publicly that he is going to protect the rights of all Americans and that Muslims should not be scared, Latinos should not be scared, and that he is going to be a president for this entire country.
It's just basically saying